Hello and welcome to PMsLounge.com. In this video, we are talking about PMP salaries, project manager salaries in this beautiful country known as New Zealand. New Zealand is essentially the neighbor of Australia. And if you're in New Zealand, if you're looking to get yourselves a project manager job role, if you want to move to New Zealand, right? What kind of salary can you expect in that country? This video is going to help you answer that question. But not just that, what kind of education you should have to be able to make the most, right? What kind of industry, and within that industry, within that organization, what kind of departments should you target to be able to make the most salary? How big this organization should be? Should you join startups? Should you join mid-level organizations? Should you join large organizations that have 10,000 or more employees? How many hours are people actually working? How many hours are project managers actually working in New Zealand? So questions like these is what we are going to discuss, and you'll find answers to questions like these. So stick around. Before we move further, I'd like to remind you that whenever we do videos like these, we refer to a PMI report known as Salary Survey. It's a fantastic report for PMI members. I always urge everyone to get themselves the PMI membership, because if you have the membership, you get access to loads of benefits. And one such benefit is access to reports like these. So we are just looking at numbers for New Zealand. No copyright infringement intended. All copyrights acknowledged. Get yourself your own copy from the PMI website as a PMI member. All right, but before we move further, I'd like to basically go over what is this New Zealand dollar that we are going to talk about, right? Because all numbers that we are discussing today will be in New Zealand dollars. So just so that you have some perspective, one United States dollar is essentially equal to 1.67 New Zealand dollars. So one New Zealand dollar is 0.60 US dollars. So that's something for reference. So the salary that you can expect, and we always look at median figures because that is closest to reality, and these are annual figures in New Zealand dollars. So the salary that you can expect is 125,000 New Zealand dollars, right? The total compensation, which is going to include some items which could be deducted from your overall salary, right? So that is 130,000 New Zealand dollars. So these are annual figures. Again, these are all median because median is closest to reality. So let's take a look at how has the last 12 months been. And 49% people reported that their salary remained the same, which is not good, because even if there is a 2% or 3% inflation, if your salary remains the same, it hurts you financially, right? So 49% people said that their salary remained the same. 10% said that their salary increased by 1 to 3%. And then there were 9% whose salary increased from 3 to 4%. Similar number whose salary increased from 10 to 15%. But then 9% also reported that their salary actually decreased, which is really bad, right? So that's how the last 12 months have been. How about the next 12 months? 40% think that their salary is going to remain the same in the next 12 months as well. 21% think that their salary is going to increase by 1 to 3%. And 11% say that their salary is going to increase by 5 to 6.9%. So that's the salary outlook. That's how the salary has been for the last 12 months, and that's the outlook for the next 12 months. Let's talk about annualized salary by position description. And if you see towards your left hand, this is essentially the project management career ladder, right? You start off as a specialist or a junior project manager, then you become project manager, senior project manager, maybe a staff project manager, program manager, portfolio director of PMO. But someone who is a portfolio manager reports making the most in New Zealand. That is 159,000 New Zealand dollars, right? Annualized salary by years of work experience. As you gain more years of work experience, your salary is going to rise. So pretty standard there, nothing out of ordinary, which is also the case with annualized salary by years worked in project management. As your years worked in project management increase, your salary also increases. Let's talk about annualized salary by highest formal education level obtained. And this is something that I thought was very, very interesting. Someone with an associate degree or some college degree is making the most in New Zealand, right? 130,000 US dollars, right? Then this is followed by someone who has a 4-year college degree, someone with a master's degree, someone who has a high school degree is also making 120,000 New Zealand dollars. But then someone with a doctoral degree, right? The highest qualification in this list, a doctoral degree, is the one who's making the least. So this I thought was very, very interesting, because there are countries out there where having higher qualification, higher educational qualification makes you earn more. But that seems to be totally opposite here in New Zealand, where someone with a doctoral degree is actually making the least. So if you're going to New Zealand, having an associate degree is good enough. Let's talk about annualized salary by degree in project management. Again, something, if you have seen our other videos, you would not be surprised here. Someone who does not have a degree in project management makes more than someone who has a specialized degree in project management. Annualized salary by PMP status. Of course, having a PMP certification is a big plus, because if you have it, you are making 20,000 New Zealand dollars more than someone who does not have a PMP certification. And these are annual figures. So this is something that you're doing every year. Finally, I want to talk about annualized salary by gender. And this is amazing, because this is the first time I'm seeing that females are actually making more than males here in New Zealand, right? So this is the only country in the countries that we have covered so far where there is no gender pay gap. In fact, it's the opposite. The males are earning a little less than females. So this is amazing. All other countries that we have seen so far, males are being paid more than females, but that is not the case here in New Zealand. Amazing. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about annualized salary by department. What kind of department in a company should you target to be able to make the most? Consulting is a clear winner here, followed by information technology, information systems. So you should either aim for consulting or IT department to be able to make the most. But in which industry should you aim for such departments, right? You can go for information technology, you can go for consulting, or you can go for utility. These are the industries that are paying the most. So if you're someone working in an IT company as a consultant or as someone in the IT department, you are essentially making the most here in New Zealand. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about annualized salary by number of employees in entire organization. And this is where it gives you an idea whether you should join startups, whether you should join mid-level organization, or whether you should join large organization. And clearly large organization are the winner here, because they are the ones that are paying the most to their project managers. Avoid startups, avoid small companies with less than 1,000 employees, because they are the ones that are paying the least. So go for as large organizations as possible. Annualized salary by average project team size and annualized salary by average project budget. You will see that as your team size increases, as your project budget increases, your salary also increases as a project manager. And finally, let's look at the number of hours people are expected to work and the number of hours they actually end up working. So expectation here is 40 hours per week, right? So pretty much 5 days a week sort of culture. But then people report, project manager 1 reports working 47 hours. A program manager reports working 46.9 hours. So obviously people are a bit overworked here in New Zealand as per this survey. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you want us to cover any other countries, let me know in the comments. We'll try to make a video on it. Check out the first link in the description, because that is where we have a playlist of all the countries that we have covered so far. Subscribe to us. We are all about PMP. We are all about project management. We have several videos where we have explained all concepts that you need to know to pass your PMP exam. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.